Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of our Christmas commentaries, and today we're doing the ultimate Christmas movie, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, from 1990. Once again starring Bruce Willis, but this time directed by Rennie Harlin, who would go on to direct such masterpieces as Cutthroat Island.
I don't remember that.
Me neither.
No one
Never
does.
heard of it.
I don't know what that is.
So after that accident of the first movie, what more shenanigans can our protagonist get into?
Airplanes.
Oh,
Again
okay,
on
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, well,
Again.
Well, okay, Dwibs. Honest question: was this movie actually released on Christmas, unlike the first movie, which, despite being taking place during Christmas, was released in the middle of summer?
this film came out on the merry old Christmas month of July.
Also, seriously, summer release? That's a box office poison.
You know, I don't get
Well,
it. I don't get it. Why go out of your way to make this a Christmas movie if it's not even released around Christmas?
No,
Well,
that's
I'm-
all.
well,
The most
heck, there's...
wintry-
Was somebody just making a bet in the industry saying,
Well,
okay,
the most wintry release of a Die Hard film we got was Die Hard 5, and look how that turned out.
reminder, folks, that there's actually a children's book adaptation of the first Die Hard film, as you probably were able to tell by
What?
the... Okay, Shuri, just check it.
Anyway,
Shuri, just
Yeah,
check
long
it.
story.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
tell you later.
I'll tell you
Let's just move
later.
on.
Where to start, Dweebs?
start just before the 20th Century Fox logo.
Soon to be owned by Disney.
Provided Mexico says okay. Right then. Three, two, one, click.
Also, greatly missed opportunity. We could have called this the Die Hard 2 The Hardening.
Basically, Shiroi, if you check out our thumbnail, you'll see from it the picture that's taken from the cover of the children's book adaptation of Die Hard, which focuses on the Christmas aspect.
Did that book sell well at all?
Shiroi. Let me put things into perspective. Warner Brothers have a children's book adaptation, picture book style, of The Dark Knight 2008. The industry will
And
go
no,
plenty
right on.
ways.
That's
Wasting
very
no-
harsh.
Wasting no time and getting straight. There we go. It's Die Hard 2. Let's just go.
I miss when there weren't like a gajillion logos at the same time.
So it's 2 years after the incident at Nakatomi
I
Tower.
think I recognize that actor who plays the policeman.
It's,
Hey, come on, man!
It's this Count Danny DeVito tale. Like he's a guy who.
No, it's not Joe Pesci.
No. Basically, it's this. He's this guy who used to be like he was also in that Schwarzenegger movie, for The End of Days. Basically, he's this Count Danny DeVito. Basically.
All right.
Yeah.
What, is he the guy famous for being Danny DeVito's body double often in films?
Yeah, but basically, Joe, a lot of times back in the 90s, a lot of people saw this guy in movies and thought it was Danny DeVito because not just because of the way he looks, but also because of his voice, basically. Even though it's
Yes,
it's not actually not.
So, Jova, have you ever been Washington D.C. during Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Was it this snowy?
It can be this snowy.
I can imagine it may be very chaotic.
I wish we had snow like this around here.
Wait, you
Yeah,
guys
so-
don't have snow?
We do, but it's shit.
Oh, you
Okay,
get
so basically-
sleet.
We're not
Story
having snow
here is-
since a lot of time.
The story here is that John is waiting for his wife to arrive on a plane from Los Angeles.
What could possibly go wrong?
Has their marriage at least gotten better, or has it done that stereotypical sequel thing of, despite the fact that it was getting better during the end of the first movie, it got worse off-screen?
No, actually.
Thank God.
That's the third movie.
Is it at least done as subtly as National Treasure 2?
Well, she only has like a voice cameo. In the
Oh,
film.
great, that bad. Well, you know, I guess to be fair, maybe she just gets sick of getting caught up in these fiascos. Although then again, they were falling out in the
Republic
first
of
film.
Valverde.
Meanwhile, in the another
Ramon
part of this movie,
Esperanza.
there's an old army guy from some foreign country somewhere. I've forgotten what. it was called. That-
Okay then.
Welcome to the sequel to Dirty Dancing.
They
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
skipped ahead a few years.
I guess it's a more
Decades.
fan service for the girls in the audience.
I think you mean the middle-aged mothers.
Yeah, that too.
Depends. Who's this actor?
This guy is named. Well, the character is named William Stewart, and he's played by William Sadler.
Huh.
That's such a posh name.
Yeah, well, he's American, by the way, but
Of course.
You know, I almost thought he looked like Discount. What?
Okay.
That wasn't
Okay.
necessary, dude.
You know,
in case you couldn't tell, he was a military guy.
of course.
No.
No shit.
Also, Brucey boy, that almost looked like a Virgin Killer sweater, but it's not
Yeah,
enough.
that's the thing with Rennie Harlan that I understand. He's as subtle as a brick.
To be fair, Die Hard is a film series I can understand not needing to be subtle.
With a name like that, I don't think anyone should expect it to be subtle.
Although Jova, Rennie Harlan, you've actually seen one of his movies before.
I have.
Legend of Hercules.
Which? Oh, which one?
The one with Kellen Lutz, Jova.
Did I see that? That movie was so forgettable. Also,
Jova, you were even complaining about it in the Tarzan 2014 topic back in the day.
it's weird. For as much as I disliked Kellen Lutz, I've kind of gotten over him. Maybe because he's kind of fallen out of the mainstream. Thank God. I mean, I don't hate the guy personally. It's just he was not a good actor, and I feel he's one of those guys who really makes me ponder, why do some people get an easy break while other people who actually try don't?
The world is
Well,
very
he's not-
unfair, Jova.
He's not in this movie, so okay. One of the writers of the previous film, Stephen E. D'Souza, who earlier wrote films like Commando, and will later go on to write such classics as the Street Fighter movie and Judge Dredd, returned to co-write this film.
It's funny you mentioned the Street Fighter movie. It's funny you mentioned the Street Fighter movie because William, God, what was his name? William Sharpley, was it?
I don't know.
Well, yeah. William Stradler. He looks a bit like Discount Jean-Claude Van Damme.
As for the other writer, Doug Richardson, according to Wikipedia at least, this was his first movie.
Oh, goody, a taser. I'm sure that's.
Don't taste me,
A
bro.
pensioner with a taser. That's ought to be.
Let me guess. That's
Deadly
gonna.
combination.
Let me guess.
Later go on.
Let me guess.
Right,
Chekhov's gunman.
Yes, Dweebs.
He'd later go on to write films like Money Train, Bad Boys,
Oh.
Welcome to Moose Sport, Hostage, and he was one of the 86 rewriters of Live Free or Die Hard, aka Die Hard 4.0.
Wait, 4.
86 writers.
That's what it
It's
felt-
figurative.
That's what I'm hearing about how the production of the script went on Die Hard 4.
Also, backtracking a bit, phones on a plane at that point.
1990 was weird.
Well, to be fair, it was before 2001.
Maybe that's why.
Well,
Panam failed this
okay.
conference.
Actually, to be fair, we have them still. In regards to phones on a plane, those were possible.
So basically, the evil army guy villain and his troops are going to establish their base of operations in a church,
Okay. How
disguising themselves as
electric cable guys.
Hey, it's all right. We're here to fix the cables. Okay, but do we have to kill the power? No. We have to kill something else.
They even sound suspicious.
They sound like, again, it's the eating my cereal sound.
Okay, basically, you're you're the general guy that we saw on the news.
Ramon Esperanza, yeah.
He's an evil dictator and a drug lord who's being extradited to the US so he can stand trial for drug trafficking.
I'm sure nothing wrong will go from there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the perfect line to go out on.
I wouldn't say that, mate.
Famous last words, dude.
Well,
I
he's...
missed this one. Oh, it even falls into kind of a coffin.
Yeah, you're right about that.
How appropriate.
Surprising, actually, if he'd have fell into a coffin, no, actually, that's something like a 70s James Bond movie would do.
Yeah. It happens in the remake of The Magnificent Seven, do you remember that?
Yeah.
I missed
Oh
it.
yeah, the war against drug. Those were
Yeah.
magical times.
One thing I do like, about the Die Hard movies, five aside, is that in each film the stakes escalate so that the consequences could affect a larger area. In the first film, it was a whole building. In the second film, it's the sky. The third film, it's a whole city. The fourth movie is the entire country, and the fifth,
It's
just
the world.
just some random guy in Moscow.
Okay.
Guess somebody missed the memo.
Yeah, Skip Woods.
I mean, I get not wanting to go too high, but dang, that's a big fall. But whatevs, we'll get to that when we get to that.
So the Die Hard prequel / sequel whatever thing is probably going to be John McClane tries to defend outer space. Who's this guy?
Very suspicious.
It's been a while since I've seen this film. Normally when I rewatch Die Hard, it's the first one.
Also, it's another thing very surreal. People smoking inside buildings.
Round here, you can't really do that in public areas anymore.
Same, but it's been a thing here, I think, since the early 2000s.
It came a bit later here.
Exactly.
Yeah, around the 2010s or so, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Orange mocha frappuccino.
We've also got a couple of other recurring characters alongside Bruce Willis and Bonnie Bedella, who plays his wife Holly. We get one of the dickhead reporters from the last film.
Joyful.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I saw Elvis Presley. He travelled forwards in time.
I mean,
I'm trying to do my job here, Mom.
So PR
please.
responses, of course.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Last minute replacements.
Totally not suspicious.
Yes, this is back when American airport security was a lot easier and lax.
2 words, fucking you. Live on air.
Yeah. Now going to America is one of the most stressful processes.
Yeah, we have to fill out one of them Esther forms.
Like, they're practically doing CRB checks on people.
Why, you don't enjoy taking your shoes off at the checkpoint?
No, a CRB check is different. It stands for criminal background check. It's something you usually have at job interviews.
Uh-huh.
Ugh, curse them code protected locks.
How dare people protect their shit?
John, not for nothing, but does the NYPD have any jurisdiction in Washington, D.C.?
Hey, Dweebs, a man should be free to present his badge anytime he wants, don't you know?
Jova,
Yeah?
does a cop from, like, say, New York City have any authority in a different city?
It depends on the circumstances, but when it's a request like that, it's standard procedure, pretty much.
Yeah, it mostly ties to the whole jurisdiction thing, but special permits can be allowed.
Round here, a guy from, like, say, the Met Police has about as much authority as a policeman in, like, it's from the South Wales Police.
It has to do with the fact that a lot of cases can cross over different states. Now, if it's, say, something incredibly logistics speaking, then terms of authority may come into play. But if it's something as simple as this, yeah, simple flash of the badge, we get him clearance. Unless it was incredibly high clearance.
Yeah. Here's my fucking ID.
Well, they did just try to shoot him, admittedly.
And, wow, this must be some loud place because no one in the airport can hear this.
Oh, it's the suitcase
There's heavy
place,
machinery,
yeah.
so
Heavy machinery.
and airports are busy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, with all the planes leaving, you probably just drown a lot of the sound out.
Yeah.
Also, we got the late Michael Kamen returning to do the score.
And in the background, you may see Buzz Lightyear fighting against Stinky Pete.
Truly the most ambitious crossover, and one that'll be possible.
If Mexico,
Dwibs. Disney have gone against any other boundary. You really think Mexico's gonna stop them? How did
I don't
Mexico
know.
even start factoring into all this anyway?
basically Mexico were concerned about how it would affect sports customer subscribers.
Weird. Didn't Disney already address that by letting Fox hold on to their Fox network?
I guess it's different in Mexico.
Of course.
I don't know.
Oh.
Just have to see what happens.
Oh!
No, my radio. My mum got that for me. It was a
Pepper spray. That.
Well, no, I think it's ice, actually, spray.
Oh god,
Used
that's
for
even
medical
worse.
purposes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, from what I've heard about this guy, he survived falling from high places. But if I'm careful, I should just be
Here's
able
your Christmas present!
to... Speaking of falling from places,
Oh.
see, I think I've seen that guy before. It's alright, officers. We're just
Nothing to see here.
we're just having a laugh.
It's weird. A
Oh,
fight
dear.
like this. Oh Jesus.
Ooh.
Flotch. A fight like this should potentially be considered the climax of a different movie.
Like an Indiana Jones one?
Well, or like say
Not-
Commando,
not-
for example. We even got to the pipe with the blowing steam. So who knows?
Reddy Harlan.
Reference.
Reddy Harlan's approach to action is have every action scene feel like the climax.
I'm perfectly fine with it. Truly the most intimidating vehicle.
Freeze, McLean.
We don't believe you.
Yeah, I got the idea right
Oh.
here.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I hate losing stuff in baggage.
Oh, look at that! A plane that it's not in a movie that it's not
Oh.
Pan Am.
Him. Yes, you're an annoying cunt.
So
Wow.
he's
I
kind of
know.
like the character of Bronson Pinchot in the Langoliers.
Yeah, we're not gonna see him after this film, so yeah. Richard.
Would you
Dick
like some
Thorn-
ice with that burn?
Yeah, Richard Dick Thornburg is his actor. He
Huh.
was in Ghostbusters,
Exactly.
playing Dickless,
Wait,
and he's
wait,
called Dick here.
wait, that's Walter Peck?
Yeah.
Well, of course it's the perfect role for him then.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. He'll get his just desserts for all the dickishness he's been in Biodome, and he'll be the one being heckled to insanity. I missed the part with the latter point is my problem, sir.
Besides, it's an aeroplane. There's not exactly a whole lot of free movement.
I wonder what would actually happen legally in that situation in real life.
It depends on how much of a slimeball the guy is and
But
how much in jurisdictions
This-
he is.
But in this film, you get free champagne.
That said,
At least the quid pro quo for Bruce for John is resolved. At the very least.
Yeah, that didn't take long, at least.
Oh, by the way, this plot involves this plot involves aviation, but here's the problem with the movie.
Yeah.
Aviation as depicted in this movie is not how aviation works at all.
really, do tell.
The writer of Commando not understanding how physics work.
Gee.
In fact, to quote TV tropes, airplane is more accurate.
The thing is that the airplane movie was kind of, made with that in mind.
Yeah, sorry, man. I fucked up. One of your colleagues died, and he.
Oh shoot!
He's gonna kill him. Oh.
Just a prank, bro.
But
Failed you, but he succeeded in his mission.
Don't you see, because it wasn't a perfect score, so therefore, here you go.
that's just him being racist.
Possible.
So why did he hire him then?
Dweebs. Just because you're racist doesn't mean you don't hire.
Carmine Lorenzo.
Carmine.
AKA, I always say Carmine.
I know, it's because of a pronunciation.
Yeah.
Also, that porn stash.
But this was 1990, and by this point, those kind of mustaches were going out of fashion.
I'm surprised he doesn't have donuts on that desk.
He's played by Dennis Franz.
Wait, hold on. L.A. badge? I thought you said he was NYPD.
No, he transferred to Los Angeles because his wife was working there.
Ah.
Funny enough, Dennis Franz was in the 1980 Popeye movie.
Huh. The one with Robin Williams?
I guess, I don't know, I haven't seen that film. And he was in Psycho 2. And the last film he was in was City of Angels.
Yes, I saw Jaws.
He does kind of have a point,
Jesus.
though. He sadly has a bit of a point. Unlike Jaws, airports are different, per se.
Yeah, obviously.
Airports are a place where a lot of people mingle. Like you said, you've got lost kids, lost dogs. Like, let's just say airports are practically where police can spend almost their full-time job before they get a promotion, dealing with a lot of that stuff.
One of our biggest airports is kind of in a bit of a mess at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh, what happened?
Drones
over
illegally
Gatwick.
landed there.
Drones?
At
Yeah.
Gatwick.
Why?
Amazon.
No idea.
Wow, the stereotypical angry cop.
I gotta have that stereotype.
Yeah,
And yet it's still not as over the top as in Fahrenheit.
yeah, that's what I take away from this film is that this was the 1990s. It was a weird mix of 80s cliches and the start of what would become a commonplace thing in the 90s.
Yeah, basically we're kind of in the middle of transition period. Kind of like, remember at the time there was also Saved by the Bell, where it was this
Oh, yeah, I
weird.
love this bit.
Oh
Shit. Anyway, go on, Pedro.
God.
Wait.
Remember we had something like Saved by the Bell, which was an abomination that was a mixture of various 80s characters in the 90s setting, which was weird
Wait,
as fuck.
oh, not a fan of Saved by the Bell?
It's corny. It's the typical after school special. It's corny.
True, but I wouldn't
remember nothing of it.
I wouldn't call it an abomination per se.
I mean, I'm not okay. I mean, an abomination in terms of the inconsistency of 80s and 90s stuff, not so much the quality of the products.
Like an amalgamation.
Yeah.
There we go.
look at it this way, Jova. It's an abomination the same way that Man Bear Pig is an abomination.
Also, man, the people in Washington D.C., the cops and the medical people at Washington D.C. are very incompetent. They don't even get his prints from the scene.
Well,
police are always incompetent in these types of movies.
Dwips. That's what the coroner is for.
But they are the coroners.
Well, yeah, but they have to take him to, their lab first.
Yeah, well, John was like, fuck that, I'm gonna get my fingerprints now.
Well, that was John being a loose cannon, but usually standard procedures to take it to a proper environment to get it tested, unless they took him on the scene, but they couldn't with the reporters hanging around.
I swear this guy's like some weird Castro knockoff. Howdy. Okay, this is in Spanish, but the subtitles aren't showing up for me.
He's calling him a good kid.
Strange, because the subtitles for seem to be within the movie itself.
That's the thing, though. It has it when they speak English. It's subtitle, but when it's in Spanish, I must have chose a different. I'm not going to change the settings now. That would pause the movie.
Yeah.
Alas,
So who plays Esperanza? Libs?
Sorry?
Who plays General Esperanza?
Franco Nero.
I think I heard that.
Franco Nero.
Let me check. He's an Italian actor.
Well, duh.
An Italian playing a Spaniard.
It's a very common.
Oh,
it's a very common both first and last names.
He was in John Wick Chapter 2.
Huh.
He was the narrator in the 2010 Rasputin film.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey, Powell.
And he voiced a character named Uncle Topolino in Cars 2.
So, a varied career.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Reginald Bell Johnson. By the way, this is his only scene in the movie.
Dang. Kind of a
In
shame.
the movie.
I think it is anyway. Yeah, this time he's working at a desk. Well, then again, after he blurted out on like walkie-talkie conversations that the press could have listened into, he outright said he was waiting his hearing for accidentally shooting a kid. I guess this is his demotion.
Oh, also Franco Nero was in Django Unchained. Oh.
Yeah, it was only a cameo, I think.
Oh well. Also Lancelot in the cap.
And he was in the original Django.
Yeah, that makes sense, man.
Yeah. Interpol, eh? So what are we gonna assign? Someone
yeah,
here?
Chun-Li.
Yeah, either her or that guy from Apollo Justice.
Yeah, the one that dies.
Yeah.
Well, this is before that year, so he's alive now, I guess.
Or he's in the middle of training to be an Interpol agent. I don't know. I think she has a crush on John.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I think you're a bit late on that one, though, love.
Interesting insults they got in this movie.
It's the transition. It's another gift of a transition between the 80s and 90s. It's also very clever. Also, I think I recognize this guy. I think it was in Law and Order.
Which one?
The first series, as the old prosecutor that instructs the new ones.
The only Law and Order I know is the UK one.
Of course.
You should really check out the USA one, Dwibs. It is the reason that the UK one was made.
I've seen the premiere of Special Victims Unit.
Why the spin-off?
Because I was doing that as part of my American Media Studies section at university.
Also, Granny is a drinker. Good to know.
She's a drinker and she has a taser.
She's living.
Okay.
She's rocking her life.
Wait.
Chug, chug.
I actually have a better question. Who let her bring that on the plane?
Wait.
Actually, other times, Shiroi.
I'm
yeah.
guessing to be fair, the drink is being served, but the taser, that could only maybe.
Do they give them out as freebies in first class or something?
Yeah, usually.
So the guy that John McClane killed, he's already been dead, quote unquote, for 2 years.
And a
That's
sergeant.
not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a twin.
And he came out. He died 2 years earlier.
Hmm.
By the way, we're not going to see him again.
Oh well.
Oh.
That
Got his
sucks.
paycheck at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, he's engaged in a way.
Wait, I thought he's married.
That was a joke. Oop, I think the report is spelling another scoop.
Journalists can be such annoying.
Well,
people.
sadly, they kind.
I know it's their job, but man. Yeah.
I don't care about your
Just
damn
fuck
news.
off. Honestly, the best comeback would have been shaking her hands with the cigarette lit in her palm, just
Yes.
sort of kicking in the surprise effect.
No, she'd use that against you.
True. It's like in the Scooby-Doo second movie where they edit purposely the footage.
Oh, okay. So the snowstorm is now so bad that another airport in the Washington area is sending their planes to this one.
Hmm.
Dulles, I think it is.
See, people aren't just doing it now.
Yeah. Hi.
Who dares step in?
Let him speak for himself, damn it.
Totally.
Ooh, oh yeah, the quote-unquote dead guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the church,
This is awkward.
Yeah.
Very.
they're getting to...
Wow, this church is actually a very complex electrical generator.
Oh yeah, quite a few churches do.
Well, nowadays they're much more common, but for a church like that,
lo and
around this
behold.
kind of time...
Even in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, look at that! The rebellion has set up their next base against the Empire.
Of course they
Basically,
have.
this is their own mobile air traffic control unit.
Also, I'm guessing because America has more of a, for lack of a better phrase, church culture, they probably do update them more frequently than we do around here.
True.
Alright,
So-
I'm going to explain what could be considered a bit of a major plot hole in this movie.
Yeah.
Basically, the bad guy's plan is to hold the skies above Washington hostage, so that the planes would have to keep circling around until they eventually run out of fuel. The problem is, I'm pretty sure there are a lot more airports in and around that area that the planes could just so easily fly towards. Not in
Also, I'm pretty
Washington.
sure the president would have something to say about this.
And if not
Yeah.
in Washington, then at least somewhere in New York. It's not that far away. Plus around this time, the regulations of the American air regulators say that
mean-
you have to state that all airline flights with passengers have to carry not just enough fuel for the journey, but to divert to another
Oh.
airport in case of an
Eh?
emergency.
Also, where are you going to land all these planes?
But in case of an emergency, like the one that's happening now.
What?
Well, shit.
Pretty sure America has airports just scattered everywhere.
yeah.
So basically, guys, the plot of this movie shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. So basically the idea is like, well, because they've shut off the lights, of course, that means that, obviously planes won't be able to see. Even still, though,
But they could just go to JFK or somewhere.
Heck, not even just that. I
Or in
mean,
Bangor, Maine.
also, you're telling me that America wouldn't have backup generators or, I don't know, do something
That's actually what
manual?
we're trying to do, actually. We're trying to use the
Yeah.
backup.
But again, they could just go to. Oh, they could even go to one of them.
Also, apparently they have those monitors that can be raised up
There's
at
a-
any time.
There's an airport base they could go to that's big enough to land Air Force One.
That's overkill.
Dibs has a good point. There are also plenty of private airports that I'm sure wouldn't mind an emergency landing.
So yeah, basically, guys, what we're watching shouldn't be happening, and yeah, it is.
Thank you for sucking the Christmas joy out of this, Dwibs.
But don't worry, guys. I'm sure Eddie Holland will learn from his mistakes and improve.
Dweebs, how will Santa manage to land his reindeer on the field? That is actually the true plot of the movie. Without the lights on the airport, Santa cannot bring the presents.
Wait, hold on.
But Rudolph is the headlight.
Wait, hold on. The guy himself is saying every airplane that lands there could just go to their alternate airport.
But they just fly around.
Well, I mean, he just did give
Because
them...
common sense be damned.
Actually, he did just give them an order to reroute some of them to alternate airports.
I'm guessing the major plot point will be about the plane that is the most, the hot topic, the one that is tied to General Esperanza.
Yeah, but Jova, the issue is,
Oh God! Dropping on the White House lawn. Oh God, that is oh boy!
Jova, there's a slight problem with your theory.
Wait, what theory?
The whole they could just tell the airplanes to fly away. The communications have been shut down.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, okay, that explains why they can't just land at other airports then.
But I'm pretty sure if like in a major emergency, planes could just do their best to act on their own initiative.
That's the thing, though, Dwibs. They don't know if it's an emergency without the radio control tower.
Even with emergency, I'll keep in mind I'm not exactly the expert. You need to ask someone actually being trained. But usually, emergency procedures are to be taken for as a very, very last resort. So there is a movie actually that came out recently with I think Tom Hanks that tells the story about a plane that had to land in a river for an emergency, and the pilot was court-martialed for suspicion.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's from Clint Eastwood.
Then, there you go. Then you should know that it's not that easy.
There's also the matter, Dibs, that yes, in an emergency they would do that, but they don't know it's an emergency. And by the time that they make it close enough to the radio towers, that's the problem where planes will likely crash into each other. Basically, here's the thing. Radio control needs to be up constantly so that planes don't end up crashing into one another, because there's a lot of them flying around. And when you get to lower altitudes, it gets even more dangerous.
Okay. I misunderstood. The terrorists are so nice, they're gonna give them 2 minutes to tell planes to hold up in the air, and then they'll shut down the communications to the point they can only receive.
There you go.
And if they try to reactivate these systems,
and considering how long procedures like this take to relay, 2 minutes is not going to be enough to tell them all they need to do, because the thing.
It's a freaking terrorist attack.
Okay, Dwibs, the idea is to not
to panic.
That's the thing. Inform, but don't inform in a way that'll make people panic unless it's something like 9/11. In which case, 9/11, well, that was 9/11.
Yeah.
This is trying to prevent 9/11 levels of terror. So, congratulations.
Christ.
Well, look at the bright side. At least the stakes are still there.
You don't need to shout about it.
Yeah, this cop's being a major dick to McClane for no reason.
Don't you see? He's on his turf. He doesn't want his jurisdiction to be questioned.
Shut up and eat your donuts.
But they're cops. They're part of their own.
Don't you see, Dweebs? That guy you have to understand. That guy allows his hairstyle to be that ugly. That should tell you how he doesn't give a single fuck.
Oh wait, so she can come in then?
She probably snuck in.
Why is everyone in this room?
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Limits. Now leave.
Well, on the plus side, we plugged up the pothole. Merry Christmas, there's actually stakes, and holy cow, people may die.
I love all the subs for the copy when I'm having omitted the fucking part of the tower.
Wait, really? Yours did?
Yeah, it just said in the tower.
Oh.
I guess it's for the kids.
I don't know. I mean, mine seems to mention the swear word still.
It seems to be occasional. Of course, the emergency exit is thin as butter.
Uh,
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah.
that was in a huge privately owned tower. I hear we're at public airport, so it'd be a bit more trickier.
Yeah, you can stay here in the...
Yeah. Yeah, but he said if you try and
Yeah.
Yeah.
try and
Ah, that's the
Any funny
thing.
tricks?
That's the thing. 80s to 90s airwave technology was not as sophisticated as it is now.
No, sadly.
there is a reason for the directing change.
What? Wait, there's a directing
Um,
change?
Yeah, here is Rennie Harlan, but in the previous film it was John McTiernan, and McTiernan would come back for the next movie. And
That was
gonna
some
direct-
serious camera winking moment.
and he was going to direct this one, but he was directing The Hunt for Red October.
Ooh,
Also,
neat.
in case you were wondering if another confirmation about this was done by the same guy who wrote Commando, the fact that this corridor with the pipelines and everything is almost identical to the one of the climax of Commando, where Schwarzenegger fights that other guy, the henchman.
Oh, by the way, Jova,
Yeah.
Washington is actually different areas in Colorado, Michigan, and California.
That makes sense. We actually have a state called Washington. There's the capital, Washington,
I
D.C.
mean, that's where they filmed.
Ah, okay then.
Nice song.
Fuck that.
Bruce doesn't like that.
Ah, yeah, Marvin the janitor. Oh, and apparently, this one wasn't even going to be a Die Hard film originally. It was an
Really?
adaptation of some random book about an off-duty cop who stops terrorists at an airport.
I mean, considering it's similar in plot and execution, it's logical that they rewrote it and as a Die Hard sequel.
Oh, and apparently, John Leguizamo was going to be in this movie,
Really?
and he was for one line.
Okay.
What happened to it?
He was going to have a larger role, but then the filmmakers realized how short he was.
Ouch.
Oh, it's Chief O'Brien from Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine.
Huh. Also, Jova, to be fair, that would have been at least some blessing for his career, considering soon after he would have done the Super Mario Brothers movie and the Spawn.
That's my point. It's like, well, kind of a shame he missed out.
I'm pretty sure like delay after delay in like the space of 10 seconds won't cause at least a little bit of concern amongst the people.
Totally.
Shame they didn't use lifts. That could have taken care of the height problem.
And remember, the point is to avoid panic. I'm pretty sure this will get some people at least mildly concerned that their loved ones might not make it.
Huh.
He is ladies and gentlemen, the best janitor in film.
Well, Finn, I would say Finn can be a good contender.
Who?
Finn from the Star Wars Next trilogy. Technically, he is the
right.
janitor.
Yeah, kinda. I thought you meant Finn, like from Adventure Time.
To Dwibs' credit, yeah, the whole janitor thing did kind of get retconned in with Last Jedi.
Like with almost everything else.
Anyway,
Alright, so main ventilation duct. So what exactly is his
so
strategy
does he need to
here?
avoid the steam jets regularly?
Oh yeah!
Like in a video game?
He's got to get to the other area so he can get some tools.
Well, I gotta say, that vent actually looks more realistically sized. Incredibly scrunched to walk through. Or crawl through.
And of course we have John McClane ranting to himself about how...
Hey, I can relate that.
Don't mind us, we're just...
Oh
painting.
dear.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, turning off the walkway, that's gonna stop him.
Uh-oh.
I love these one-liners.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. They give quite a few one-liners to the bad guys as well as the good guys.
Fine
Well,
by me.
makes sense. I mean, the director of Commando did also do that.
Let me check. Who directed Commando?
Oh, I think I know that he did other major important things.
Well, I wasn't the director, but
Well, I guess also, like you
But
said, they
again-
share the same
again-
writer.
yeah, the writer's the same.
Yeah, I empathize. Gunshots are loud as fudge.
Yeah.
My life is going to hell. Oh, and another thing, apparently the original script for this movie had like way more swearing than you hear in the final product.
Really?
To the point where one of the actors, I think, or one of the other writers, I don't know, he was worried that the excessive swearing would end up making serious scenes funny.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't think there would have been a problem with that.
A guy named Fred Thompson. Oh,
Ample timing.
yeah. Don't worry. This grid of the air vent will protect me. You're fired. Oh no, wait, it's the wrong guy. Fire.
Question, Wibbs, have you played any of the Die Hard video games?
No.
I know there was, aside from the trilogy on PS1, there was also a main, well, also the NES game of the first movie, I think.
I'm not sure. I mean, there is that PS1 game that I've heard about.
Yeah, it's the trilogy that I think it's called, which...
I just haven't
goes on.
seen it. For some reason, they gave it like. For some reason, the music in that game's like some weird Funko.
I mean, when you think about it, the first Die Hard presents itself as the perfect dungeon crawler or beat 'em up, going from one floor to the other. Shit.
Well, that's gonna leave him a few splinters.
And to the point where Sega had another one of its APs called Dynamite Cop on the Sega Saturn that in America the American localization looked so similar to Die Hard, we just called it the Die Hard Arcade.
Jova.
Yes.
There's a scene coming up later, but I want to use this quote. What's the TV trope for when you retaliate for, like, say, someone stepping on your toe by accident by killing his family?
Disproportionate retribution.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, Pedro?
I don't know, Teo. They didn't translate that well into the NES game.
True. Well, now.
What's the point of reactivating it? Everyone's dead. Oh,
That was a Kubrick close-up.
You're gonna need a bit more time to set it up, I think.
it'll take a while.
It was free real estate the whole time.
Well, that sucked.
It's like the bad guys were just waiting until they had a hope shot for that.
Yep, it was a trap. Fortunately, they didn't get blown up,
Oh snap.
but they were his best men.
Oh.
But I don't think he's going to be too pleased with the fact that like half his best men were just murdered. Though.
Bloobs, he barely cared that Cochrane died so long as the mission got fulfilled.
Oh, hello.
Uh-oh.
These are not gremlins.
That's dangerously close.
Was TCAS invented yet?
Even if it was, we'd have a problem.
For those who don't know, TCAS means Traffic Collision Avoidance System. It's to basically stop planes from crashing into each other.
Well, yeah, it's usually mapping the air charts and having planes following a strict trajectory.
You'd think they would have. That would have been one of the first things they'd think about.
Well, sure, here's the thing. 80s and 90s tech, planes didn't exactly have the capacity to house all that, which means that's what the radio tower was for. And a plane can only really get its own mapping or whatnot. It can't keep track of the mappings of other planes.
So the situation is pretty dire. So what to do?
Okay, while we wait for the next plot point to come up, I'll read the Rotten Tomatoes consensus for this movie.
First of all, what's
Sure.
the score?
68% based on 63 reviews.
Hmm.
And the consensus is, it lacks the fresh thrills of its predecessor, but Die Hard 2 still works as an over-the-top and reasonably tout big-budget sequel, with plenty of set pieces to paper over the plot deficiencies.
I mean, so far I can agree with that.
I mean, so far the plot seems solid, and hey,
I'm having fun for so
Yeah,
far. So,
I mean,
yeah.
it's funny, even if the plot makes no sense.
we actually did manage to plug up that plot hole by pointing out how this actually does work. So, I mean,
They'd have to be really quick on their feet.
I don't see really too many plot deficiencies so far. Maybe I'm missing some. But...
Again, it's kind of the same with movies similar to this, like Commando, which the guy worked on still.
I wonder if this is going to turn out
classic,
like...
It's classic
so
testosterone action
losing-
movie logic.
So losing his best men wasn't part of his plan.
Of course!
You killed my best men, you pricks. Yeah,
Right.
see what I mean about disproportionate retribution?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Well done. You blew his cover. Hey, that's where the bad guys got the names of those random people that were making that fake demand for.
By the way, you know that crime boss that you threw out that window? Yeah, I'll just say this. Be on the lookout for his equally British and pissed off brother.
I thought he was German.
And he's extra evil because he's British.
I thought he was German.
Jeremy Irons? No.
I love American media's portrayal of British people in terms of antagonists.
Yeah, there's even a
Like,
Jaguar
jeez.
car commercial that pretty much points out why
Oh,
Brits
really?
made such great
So what he's
villains.
gonna do?
To retaliate for like three or four of his best men dying, he's gonna crash one of the planes.
Let me guess, the one that has John's wife on board.
No, the British
Well,
one.
no, remember Joe, she has a line in the next movie, so...
Jova, he's gonna crash the British plane.
British plane?
What did we do to you? Seriously.
Be in his way, I guess.
Oh, there's a British plane.
They're against communism, don't you know?
All right. Basically, he's gonna throw the
The altitude, yeah.
altitude off so that it's like 200 feet below ground level.
All right.
And yeah, it's called Windsor because of course it is.
You can tell we're British because we say, we're the devil.
Of course, the guy's to speak in a Western accent because that's how the Brits think of us Americans.
Yeah,
mean-
you're all a bunch of hillbillies.
Does
I mean-
Washington has a particular accent? So
Washington, D.C., it's got a plenty mix. Although, to be fair, Shiroi, Alan Rickman tried to fool him with a southern accent, too.
Well, I mean, he wanted to kill.
And the pilots aren't gonna doubt him because he's using their frequency.
yeah.
John McClane's got to think fast.
He's gonna make a little lion light.
Yeah, torch.
Yeah, or in the ground.
Why are you clapping?
They
Well,
don't know.
It's a long...
I can't stand people clapping in airplanes.
To be fair, back then, with the novelty of, being on a plane, yeah,
Just
that was
like
a thing.
Just like British Rail, eh?
Keep in
But-
mind, this is not something country specific because my country, the Italians in planes do that all the time, and I'm equally pissed off.
Tio, the Brits will clap at anything.
Even
Yeah,
a
I mean,
tea being spilled?
In fact, I'll prove it right now. Jova, say something.
The aristocrats.
Yay! Like, seriously, when you go into theme parks and you have the simulator rides, like,
Of
we'll clap
course.
at the end of that.
Oh, maybe you guys are the people who clap all at the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my
Yeah.
Disney World rides, but holy
Right,
cow.
guys,
Can
this-
John make this work?
We'll just see. I gotta say, for a ex-US Army veteran, he knows quite a lot about how air traffic control guidelines and protocols work. I guess
Well,
he
it depends. Was he in the Air Force Division of the Army?
Special Forces?
Okay, then he may have had some Air Force training.
Also, as I've, it's because it's something I've been learning quite recently. I mean, regardless of what job you do in the military, you will have to learn about others' jobs as well, just in case.
Yeah.
Only 800. Oh boy, it's getting tense. Basically, what they're saying, minus 200.
Yeah, obviously. Just for it's simple math that can throw off an entire calculation
Mhm.
just by subtracting a bit.
Oh boy.
Damn it, my flame's not strong enough.
Yeah, they're not going to hear that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Interesting choice for Windsor to get publicity with this.
Yeah.
Watches, our planes are so efficient, we get crashed like this.
Wait, it had barely any
Oh,
fuel, and
Jesus.
yet it explodes?
Well, that's the
Again,
thing, Dwibs.
Actual movie logic.
Well, okay, to be fair, if it built up enough friction, the heat was going to get to the gas tanks.
Yeah.
Or the
That
fumes?
as long as it reaches that, it can actually act as a bomb because it's very compressed and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there still would have
Say-
been significant damage even if that didn't happen. I mean, with that kind of impact, everyone on board would have broken their legs.
So,
Yeah,
I'm guessing this
Needless
did
to say,
wonder
the
for...
plane's pretty pissed.
And now it's personal.
I'm guessing this did great headlines for the British Airlines.
Yeah. Well, let's be fair, when they do the investigation.
Again, I am really surprised that the airplane who did not crash was one of Pan Am, because that would be so ironic.
Also, this guy's facial expressions, I'm not sure what to say.
He seems like he's trying to go for a cross between Willem Dafoe and, yeah, let's throw in Walter Peck, even though Walter
His
Peck
eyes
is
look
in
like
this
they're
movie.
about to fall out of his head.
And it's interesting as well because future bad guys would be Jeremy Irons and the lead character of Justified.
Wouldn't it figure? The main bad guy of the first film was British, and now the British Airlines have to pay for it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's.
So, no survivors.
Bane will be so proud.
Of course, the empathy doll
Of
shot.
course. Well, to be fair, I think around this time it was still pretty novel.
Oh, it still gets used every now and then.
Yeah, but remember that, like I said earlier, this was that weird point where the 80s cliches were starting to
Dwindle.
To be
wear out
fair,
their
the
welcome.
empathy doll shot is kind of one of the easy ways to show, yes, a kid died.
Yeah. Be sad.
But we can't if.
So much yelling. John Oliver, was that you?
No, I don't think. I think John
Yeah,
Oliver's just starting to play.
Also,
straight in the UK.
also less air.
Hey,
So, did you got pneumonia?
well, I guess it could be worse. And yeah, this
That is actually
You can't
kind.
save everyone.
You know, that
That's
is actually kind of a interesting deconstruction, especially for an 80s, 90s film. For as many
And
feats
again,
as he
it's
can pull
not
off.
it's not the actual climax. The movie still has to go.
we've got
Also, in the time that he had to figure something out, like, he did the best he could, really.
Yeah.
like an hour of film left. So we got. Well, it's pity the film isn't 90 more minutes long. We could have done it in real time.
It's like 24.
Well, it's actually
Well, I'm
longer than
guessing
90
that's
minutes.
telling that they'll actually deal with this by the end.
Is this subplot really important?
Oh, they hate each other.
So,
Yeah, it's pretty clear that by the time the movie's over, we will reconcile, but... So cartoony.
So, we've got essentially 3 problems. 1, tragedy is already struck. 2, because it's protocol, the planes are waiting for some answer, therefore they're constantly circling, and they can't go to another airport without the
And
directive.
now there's also the mass panic because the
weather.
journalist got the news.
but yeah, another member of Dickless's film crew snuck transmitters into the plane.
Yep.
Airport security really did need improving.
It did.
Aye. Fortunately, in terms of films that have some sort of reputation, the film of that ilk would be freaking Biodome.
Oh,
Wait. Who made Biodome?
No, he's not making it. The guy, Dickless.
Oh, Walter Peck.
Yeah.
Wait, this was after Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ghostbusters was in the 80s, Jova.
True.
This is 1990.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't in the sequel. There was just somebody who was pretty much a caricature of him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we got another 80s cliche coming in. The army.
Of course, I guess the grumpy military dude wants to just blow shit up.
Well, it pretty much is a terrorist scene now, so... Yep.
Major Grant. Played by John Amos.
I feel like I've seen this
Wasn't
actor
he
before.
kinda... Hold on.
He was
he also in Commando? Because he reminds me a bit of that guy that Schwarzenegger fights in the hotel.
He's been in stuff such as Good Times, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The West Wing. And look what else he's done. Here's an episode of 2.5 Men.
Oh, he's not as pissy as I thought he would be.
Give it time. Did you seriously have to ask?
Well, there's a chance things could be somewhat more manageable now.
I mean, as long as you don't ask that question.
What question?
Exactly.
So yeah, the headwinds. Oh yeah, so planes with enough fuel are going to places like Memphis and Nashville.
Uh-oh.
How far away are they from Washington?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's the thing. Only planes with enough fuel. Problem is the weather. With weather conditions like that, planes may have to use a bit more fuel because they're working against it. And even still, it sounds like the planes heading out may be sitting ducks in some shape or form. Oh. That may be where the bad guys want them to go. Oh dear.
So yeah, Carmine was wrong. They weren't just regular luggage stealers.
Oh shit. Of all the time.
Wait a minute.
Remember, Colonel Stewart used to be in the same branch of the army that Major Grant is in.
Some's a little too convenient, though, for that last-minute replacement.
So yeah,
There you go.
this is the channel where the bad guys can't track them.
The one
Hopefully.
channel.
But guess who's tuning in?
Makes sense, you know, radio frequencies were way easier to tap into.
Boy, Nicholas is gonna get his report.
Yeah, if he'll survive to tell it.
Oh, he'll find a way.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised everyone's so chill considering the situation.
Well, to be fair, it's only the people up front who are supposed to
I
hear this.
actually wonder if the earpiece actually fell off naturally and it wasn't supposed to be in the script. And you just felt more, natural to throw that in.
Wouldn't be the first time something like that happened with a movie.
It gives more authenticity.
Hmm And I didn't mean in the sense of, panicking about the situation at hand. I mean, people get pissy if they have to wait for a delayed plane for more than 15 minutes,
Yeah.
let
Oh,
alone
that.
several hours.
I asked for the actor playing the main bad guy.
Mhm.
He's been in a lot of TV shows like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, among others. He's also in some films like The Green Mile, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Of course it has to be on the altar.
Fallout New Vegas, funnily enough. Iron Man 3. And he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Oh, neat.
Okay.
Has anyone tried to figure out where they are yet?
Probably
Well,
a side project, but for now, the main focus is trying to make
He's
it so that the
still-
planes
yeah.
land properly because they're on a time limit.
We can leave taking out the terrorists to the special forces.
How much is this dictator guy paying him, I wonder?
Enough, I guess.
Quite a lot, and apparently the dictator is also very skilled at killing.
Jesus.
This is why you don't give last requests like that.
Especially if they involve Siggies.
John McClane, expert in diplomacy. Yeah.
I'll do it, or I'll shoot you and fly the plane so I don't have any flight training. Up.
Ha!
Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna pivot this plane. Oh,
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, cried.
Oh, thank you.
oh. Yeah, but yeah, now what's he gonna do? I don't
Yeah,
think he
it's
has
a
any
good thing.
flight
It's a good
training.
thing that the pressure is not really a problem. Again, I shouldn't be questioning physics from the guy who wrote Commando, but yeah.
Mayday, mayday.
Would you call it F-Zero?
I've lost cabin pressure yet. I'm still breathing.
And conscious. Remember, a plot point in the Langoliers was to purposely lose cabin pressure so they could fall asleep.
Was it turning up the pressure?
So yeah, but this is less realistic than something Stephen King wrote. Yeah, we're gonna have to improvise, guys. Yeah, a bullet that
What an idiot.
Yeah, McLean's trying to get to that runway to 4-year plan. Actually, no, you can land on 2-3.
Yeah,
No,
you really...
2-6.
Okay.
There we go. I'm going to try and land.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, again, I'm not quite sure this guy has any flying experience.
Alright, who's gonna be faster, the terrorist or John?
Or the US Army.
Depends. The U.S. Army may not have been able to get in on that call.
What's this obsession with steam valves?
I don't know.
I see them all over the place in all these movies.
What do? I don't want to get decapitated.
Yeah.
Oh, come the pup. I'm Santa Claus and I'm here to give you a present.
I mean, it's not the first time Bruce Willis wore a Santa outfit.
Hey, he's probably been in.
What a thrill!
He's probably been in at least 2 Christmas comedies.
That aren't the Die Hard films.
Comedies, Jebba.
That's the joke.
You suck,
That's
McBain.
You suck, McJova.
McJova.
Come on, Brucey.
What about McJoe then?
Oh boy.
Hang on, sorry guys.
Shit.
Okay, so what are you gonna do now? You're facing a plane head on.
Ram it?
There's a distinct flaw with that plan.
There you go.
Sorry, someone called and it caused the film to pause.
Wait, it
Go
caused
to 116.
Oh, you're watching this on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it ring, Buster.
Are you there, Dweebs?
I'm getting there.
Well, go to 116.30 then.
Of course, I gotta get there alive first.
I'll pause at 1:16:28.
Alright, almost there.
Well, maybe there's like a 5-second delay, but...
Yeah. And go.
Where did he go? Fire, fire, fire.
Fuck.
That ain't any cop.
One pendejo of a cop. We're gonna give you the count of 3 to get out, or we'll blow the fuck out of the plane. 1.
How's that different to a regular funeral? I'm curious.
Military funerals usually involve gunfire.
Yeah, you know, the shooting the guns up in the air and stuff.
So much bullets.
Might as well rename this film to Bullets the Movie.
Oh, great! Let's follow that up with grenades.
I mean, you're never too sure, so...
They're the perfect Christmas present.
Yeah. Jesus.
You know, I think I'll take coal instead, please.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But those are the world's slowest acting grenades.
The bigger ones often take
Think
longer.
fast.
They're too cold to act, I guess.
What are you doing?
Well, to be fair, realistically speaking, grenades do need some
What are you
He's
doing?
time.
gonna try and eject.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch
Oh,
the
man.
sky.
Jesus.
I think about it every night and day.
Cartoon physics, don't let me down now.
Screw you,
Why
terrorist!
Why
Oh,
is
thank
this
God
guy
for the
doing more
parachute.
action movies?
Thank God for the parachute.
Yeah, he was extremely lucky.
FBI, open up!
And yet, that's still more realistic than the fridge, I'll admit.
Everyone is here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, Jova. Indiana Jones was always incredibly realistic. This is a bit more.
I mean, okay.
It was, Lives. The problem is that the fridge is where they were starting to officially stretch it.
Okay, so here's the
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, Indiana Jones is out there, yes, but it's not a fucking cartoon.
See, okay. See, look, here's the thing. The ejection seat can work because ejector seats are meant to get you out of planes in times of stuff like explosions or whatnot, so he got incredibly lucky. It's just within the realm of possibility. It hits the thin line between nonsensical and realistic. I mean, it is nonsensical, but it is somewhat realistic. And hey, it's not like he got out completely unscathed.
No, don't turn on the TV.
Uh-oh, fuel control.
Honestly, I don't know what's worse: the fear of him crashing, or the feeling that they're gonna have to listen to Dickless in one of his news reports.
I'm not a fan of traveling by plane, so this is a great movie.
Oh, is it the fear of the heights?
No. For several thousand miles, everything below you is death. So
Ah.
Yeah, I understand that, Shiro. It is a common fear, don't worry.
Oh, hey, The Simpsons. Yet another thing
this
that'll
was a
probably...
Fox movie anyway, so yeah.
Season 1 Simpsons, though, so it's a bit more rough around the edges.
With less preachiness from Lisa.
Oh, yeah, the public phones on planes. I remember those.
I can appreciate that it took them this long to start adding the product placement.
Hey, they literally blew up some of the product placement with Windsor.
Your request is very important to us. Please hold.
Cue the public domain music you hear for hours while on hold.
Do, 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 do,
Do, do, do. See, I'd happily listen to it if it was the Me Channel theme.
People sure are a fan of that theme.
It's that comfy, Jota. Yeah, what have you guys done so far? Nothing.
I mean, they've been yelling a lot.
Well, they're the army, they yell.
Also, there's a very good. There's a Santa fold in the background. It's totally a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's snowing outside.
What is the plan, people?
Okay.
Oh, there you go, Shiroi. Someone's complaining.
This old lady's the best
Granny,
character.
yeah, Granny's best character.
Yes, no. No, you're all gonna die.
About that,
About that. That's one of those please don't panic responses.
Yeah.
we have everything under control.
Totally.
To be fair, what else can they do? Tell them, yeah, we're running out of fuel. The last thing you want
But hey-
in a plane is people panicking, especially when the
Hey.
pilots need to concentrate.
But hey, guys, they've narrowed it down to the church.
So yeah.
At least the pilot isn't falling asleep, which is something that does actually happen.
Oh, well, that's what backup pilots are for. You guys do have those over in Britain, right?
Yeah, we have
That's-
co-pilots.
That's a global requirement, Rova, yes.
Oh, they're the Marines?
They're the... Marines are for the Navy, though.
Well, they are the United States Marine Corps.
Uh-huh.
And we've got the Royal Marines.
No!
Damn it, I'm trying to do a
What an
sneaky,
idiot.
snake. You
Didn't
say
this
I was your
happen
father.
last time she called him and that got one of the bad guys alerted to his location?
Think so.
The claims learn nothing.
To be fair, it's his wife who made the call.
To be unfair, he should have learned his lesson by this point.
Arrgh.
Hey, wait a minute, it's my call. You get back here now, damn it. Well, I gotta say though, this army lot are really dedicated to their job. They hear the place where they think he might be located, and they're on their way immediately.
Good on them.
Ugh, damn it, the radio's not working. Load weapons.
Alright.
Mate, you're supposed to.
You know, as a kid, I used to roughhouse in the
That
snow.
face.
Never thought it would get this serious, though.
I mean, guess he's gonna kill him with one of the icicles.
I mean, this movie is just outlandish
Asking for
enough.
it. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Come
Oh,
on. Do
Impale.
it.
There we go.
Icicle, eh?
See, it's all fun and games until somebody pokes an eye out.
Yep.
And it goes through into their brain.
Oh, that is grim.
But don't worry, guys, the Marines are here.
Also, Jovi didn't do it properly. Allow me. It's all good fun until someone listens and ah!
You know, I can imagine there being an outtake where Willis just slipped and fell on his face.
He has to restore his foot power.
Wait, why did they bring arsehole porn mustache cop with him?
Jeez, even the military commander isn't yelling as much as Lorenzo here.
I was telling him shut up.
Yeah, they brought him here so everyone could tell him to shut the
Uh-oh.
fuck up.
The fuck out of here.
Jover, in situations like this, do the
Oh, heck yes, the military take priority. Yeah. Okay. That's actually a pretty nice subversion.
I don't know what that means, but,
But,
it's fun.
they triggered the alarm.
Oh shit.
Shiroi, I don't think even he does. That guy
No
looks
problem.
like
Wait. No problem. They outnumber you like 20 to 5.
that guy looks like Dmitry Mishkin from GoldenEye.
Huh.
Get out! We're under attack.
Uh-oh.
Die!
Of course. They're gonna blow it up.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that means automatically that the planes can land. They still got to try and enable.
Well, that means we're gonna remain without communications,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna run out of fuel eventually.
Yeah.
Which means they'll have to divert attention all the more.
Bobcats, seriously.
They're getting away. Sir,
This is so surreal.
Sir, why couldn't we have just gone through the gap?
It's a good thing it was snowing around this time.
Well, I regret turning around to look at that.
Of course, this means he can take the vehicle for his own. There you go.
Huh.
Oh shit.
Yep. Well, give them credit. They're not as stupid as you would think.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be enough time to,
Disarm all of them.
yeah.
Good
Why
question.
do you care?
Leave McLean alone.
Well,
He's like a freaking stalker.
I wonder if Lorenzo's finally starting to catch on that. Usually McLean has the right idea.
A little unorthodox, but it works.
He's
Yeah.
just jealous.
Yeah.
Oh god, McLean, you're on thin ice now. Seriously,
Literally.
be careful.
Just up to me catch up, guys.
Also, keep in mind he's doing that with no goggles whatsoever. So, props for that.
Yeah, probably be blind by the end of the movie, but well done.
Semantics.
Yeah. Wait.
Why
Why
did
is
you
it
need it to
changing?
change ammunition? Oh, I guess they're a different type.
Yep.
In a way. They're McLean bullets.
Depends on if it also
Specifically
has...
designed to go after his DNA.
Depends on if he also laced it with different gunpowders.
Yeah,
Don't
sure,
worry,
buddy.
sir. Don't worry, sir. I'm sure we've killed McLean this time.
Totally.
Yeah, that one liner wasn't as funny.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is the film that should have been called "You Only Live Twice."
Oh, so much for catching up.
Might just have been thrice. Then, okay, so he's just gonna borrow his gun.
Oh.
No bullets. Huh?
That's why he switched it, just to taunt him. Oh wait, never mind.
Oh, there are actually bullets. Maybe they're killer ones. Huh?
Yeah, we got your plane ready now. Shut up.
Huh. I like that guy.
Yeah. Alright, everyone, move out.
Jesus.
I can just imagine how a PG-13 re-release of this movie must have gone.
Maybe they'll probably be in like
That's
Die Hard
funny.
1. They'll probably do it in like Die Hard 1 where they dub over, you know, they'll probably dub over fuck with fudge or something like that.
He's a scumbag, but hey, if it gets people to know...
Yeah.
He's good at his job, it's just, well...
Only for sake of a promotion.
Oh, a little bit of army banter.
Don't say you're a few days away from retirement.
Might as well.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
snap.
shit.
Oh boy.
Just as I thought. Again! The last guy just happened to be sick with a disease.
Yep, the army guys were working with the main bad guy all along.
It was an
Yikes.
inside job. Well, that was actually a pretty good twist, I'll give him that.
Especially considering they took their sweet ass time to reveal it. Oh, Jesus.
I've had just as crappy a day.
Like, there
Yeah.
hasn't really been anything all that suspicious about them up until now.
I mean, yeah, and I'll give him this. There's the one hint that he just happens to be the same guy who served with Stewart, but you could have chalked that up to, you know, it being a vendetta. But holy cow, it turns out they were all in on it, which would actually make sense in hindsight, holy cow.
Great
Fiery
repertoire photo.
picture.
Yeah.
Of course they call him by Dick.
Yeah. Panic, eh? Don't call
Stranger
panic.
than fiction, you may call it.
Get out the
We-
way!
Get the fuck out.
Shift!
Boy,
oh my
this
God,
is...
Bruce Willis!
Boy.
Take a photo.
I gotta say, this has gotta be this janitor's most exciting day on the job.
Yes, he actually probably is.
Oh,
What? Oh.
blanks. They were pretending.
Oh, snap! That's
Clearly
right, Blanks.
pretending.
Which
imagine
What a way to prove that, though.
Could you imagine
Gee.
could you imagine if he used the wrong bullets?
of course, so that means
Oops.
that's oh my god. So that's
He was an asshole anyway.
so that's why he switched out the cartridges. Not because he was out of bullets, but because he wanted to use the actual real ones for that.
Yeah.
So they did actually foreshadow this quite a
Yeah.
few times. Wow.
Okay, I gotta say, instead of plot holes, this
Pretty
movie
good.
is actually pretty well crafted, I'd say.
Well, the plot holes were for like earlier in the film.
And even still, we pointed out how those weren't actually plot holes. I mean, okay, at best, there's like some weird ways of how planes go. The physics, sure. But, you know, considering how we let stuff like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies get away with that.
Who knew that?
Would it be
can
better
see
to
why.
just call it a contrivance or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Who knew that this one guy could cause so much panic?
Well, to be fair, Dwibs, airports are a very concentrated place. When you get the chaos going, the chaos will erupt.
And it's on the plane.
Well, crud. Oh, what a shock. That taser's about to come in handy.
Yeah. Shut Dickless up.
Honestly, I kind of was expecting to see an angry old lady using it, honestly. I was kind of waiting for that. I'm disappointed now.
0 to 10, ruined forever.
Yes.
Got the grumpy old lady.
You've ruined my Christmas now.
Christmas is ruined for everyone.
Ho ho no.
Vito.
Okay.
Of course, the Danny DeVito lookalike is his brother.
Oh.
Not walking here.
Or driving.
People shouting.
Oh, now you want to talk to me?
Totally.
I have to wonder if he actually expects to live through all this.
Ooh.
If this should be my final broadcast,
That
Just
restraining
living there.
that restraining order was taken out for a reason, I see.
I wonder when the army guys and the villain cooked up this plan.
Oh, they
In
probably
secrecy.
did it in secret.
Yeah.
Probably had plenty of free time for that.
I mean, remember that
they
guy.
they were both in the army at one point.
Yeah, yeah, they were ex-colleagues, so most likely they had contacts.
Ah!
Besides, I've already got 2 babies.
Oh yeah, you have kids.
Yeah.
It better
Hey,
be
it
worth
rhymes.
it.
So
Get
who's
on-
gonna shoot who?
Now get on board, you'll never leave this nation.
News helicopter.
It's a good job though. Good job the plane that the enemies are on doesn't have a telly.
Even if it does, like, they care.
Like sir, I think I see I think I see a news helicopter coming towards us. Yeah, we're going on
Coke
holiday.
and beaches for everyone.
Oh, there you go, Shiroi. Maybe they'll import some snow for you guys. That's, good.
I think they mean the tropics. Wish we had that. Mind you, we could just go to Spain and get it.
I'm sure Canada would be gracious enough to throw some our way.
Yeah, they're part of the Commonwealth along with us. I'm sure they'll lend us some.
I'm guessing you guys don't get the snow that's actually fun to play in, do you?
Nah.
We do. Sometimes.
How often?
In England at least. Once every 3 years or so.
Oh, dang, man. You guys are
In Wales we do, but we have to travel quite a bit to get to it.
Man, you
Yeah,
guys are missing out on
you have to-
snowboarding, sledding, snowman making, snowball
Haven't done that in
fights.
years.
You have to go to somewhere that has the word snow in the name.
Yeah, Snowden.
Well, hey guys,
Eh?
what happened to the guy who lived in North Wales, who was watching the TV weather report in his home?
He's all died.
He got snowed in.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Well, who else is gonna make that joke? At least
It's
they
too
have.
it's too early for the cracker jokes.
Nah, I had some.
All right,
Christmas-
bend over.
I had
Well,
Christmas crackers at my birthday tea in the Italian.
best thing to do now is pretty much pray.
Rules, what are you doing?
Breaking news! You're dead.
You're not Tom Cruise. Come on.
If this were Tom Cruise, he'd probably hang off the plane on one hand.
And enter one of the rear windshield.
Yeah, and survive.
Yeah. Without stunts, all of these improvise on his own.
How about that time when he hung off a cliff for real?
Yeah.
With Henry Cavill.
I was actually talking about Mission Impossible 2, but yeah.
Yeah.
They did that in 6 as well.
Funny enough, he did all that hard work for a lackluster sequel.
But Mission Impossible 6 was awesome.
I'm talking about 2.
You had to be more specific, Joe. Well, if 2 proved anything, he's good at stunts. just not much.
He's
Oh,
blocking the...
Oh.
oh my.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The weight of a New York cop can hold the ailerons down, apparently.
As long as he keeps those things from closing, that's as good as grounded.
It's like putting a metal bar in between two cogs libs. It just works.
Let me put it like this. When they seal up, they stay closed shut. However, they don't press down hard for a reason. You don't want to measure up with the backup pressure. If that thing shuts in too hard, that can lead to a lot of problems.
And his coat got stuck in the ailerons.
Hi there, you come here often?
God damn it! I should have remembered that McLean's preferred method of attack is jumping on people. Hey assholes, shoot him!
You know, somewhere this is causing... oh my. You know, somewhere William Shatner is watching this and thinking he's going insane, seeing two men fight on a wing. Like, seriously, forget the little troll or the gremlin. This is where the real action's at.
Or
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least he's not wearing a cape. He has more of a chance.
yeah, no,
Yes.
he's boned.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can imagine how the
Well, you're
military-
gonna have a bit more trouble flying now.
Could Do you imagine how the military fuel, sorry, not military fuel, and how the military funeral would be for him? They have a bit of a hard time finding his piece.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces?
Literally. So I get it. Now this is boss rush, I guess.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow soldiers, we are gathered here today to mourn the passing of, let me get his name.
Wait, wasn't this guy a traitor to the military?
No, they'll probably, I don't know, sometimes they give exceptions.
Yeah, John, you're clearly way too tired to stand a chance.
We're gathered here today for the funeral of Major Grant. His body.
Also, you're bleeding heavily, which isn't helping.
And you've got a shoulder wound.
Bleeding heavily from the head, even.
Insurmountable odds be dang, this is just unfair.
He has the power of protagonist.
Doesn't look like it's doing much for him.
I don't know, guys.
What?
Hmm?
Is it just me, or is this the world's longest runway?
Yeah, I was about to mention it as well.
Yeah.
About that.
Remember, remember, Dwebs, action movie logic. Gotta suspend disbelief.
Also, not being able to have a plane-centric movie without somebody falling into a jet.
Admittedly, a lot of airway lines are made extra long, but yeah, this is kind of pushing it. Oh, I guess they're about to take off.
The runways at Heathrow are pretty long.
Oh.
But you're leaking fuel, though, even if you did manage to take off.
I-
Get ready.
Well, we'll see.
What did my
He's gonna
colleague
try.
do? Oh.
You're taking your time, Bruce.
Uh-oh.
You said it, we can go home now.
It's not over yet.
Wait for it.
Come
Wait
on.
for
Objects in
it.
the mirror may be closer than they appear.
Wait for it.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
What's blowing up,
Amazing.
Doc?
Shit.
there we go.
But it's cold outside. They were just trying to warm you up.
You know, it's kind of a crime that Michael Bay ruined the whole explosion thing because this is
'Cause
actually
this is fun.
amazing. Yes.
Seriously, that was Looney Tunes-esque, but that was still awesome. Oh yeah, that's right. He made a landing line too. That's convenient.
convenient.
You might
Two
wanna,
birds with one stone.
There as well. No.
You could end up getting flattened.
I
I see it. A look at the burning bodies.
It's truly a sign.
It's truly a sign. We probably shouldn't land here.
It's a Christmas
What a Christmas
miracle.
miracle.
High five. Yes.
Yay!
Victory.
And only the Brits had to die.
Unnecessary sacrifice, unfortunately.
Sigh. Don't worry, we'll have another British actor playing the villain in the next movie.
Indeed.
For revenge purposes.
Yeah, for the first Die Hard movie.
Okay, John, you did good. Now you need some fucking rest.
And a medic.
Go to the nearest hospital, please.
Yeah, like seriously, if you haven't caught pneumonia yet, you will probably never will.
Well, the sequel gap between this film and the third was 5 years instead of 2.
Wow.
I think, what was Willis? Well, actually, yeah. Oh yeah. Willis did a North in between.
Interesting career choice. Could have been worse. Could have been Armageddon. Oh wait.
Yeah, I think. Well, I can't say it again.
Adrian!
Holly, please assure me we're gonna stick together this time.
Totally.
Yeah, at some point I think Bruce Willis is gonna be singing Holly.
It wouldn't be the first time Bruce Willis has sung weird things.
Well, yeah, he is a singer too, so.
Oh come on, you're not gonna show me Granny getting on the slope?
Actually, Granny already got
Aw.
shown. Well,
She was behind the...
Actually, they already showed her sliding down in an earlier scene not too long ago.
Oh.
The bloody marks here left to me are so turning me on.
Yeah, but they're all over the runway now, so we're all.
They're in pieces all over
Oh,
the
come
runway.
on, man. Fucking
They lit the way
journalist.
home.
It's
Yeah,
just...
thank you.
Alright.
See,
Now's
guys,
not the time for journalism antics.
see, guys, journalists have a heart. Sometimes.
By the way, where's
Yeah.
Dick?
Ethics in journalism. Let's discuss.
That's a good question. Why does this keep happening to you guys?
Where's Dickless though?
Probably
he's gonna have to jump on the slope anyway.
Nah, they're just gonna throw him down there.
Oh,
there she is.
wait. Oh
Ah.
my god.
The granny is without shoes.
And she walks over him.
And there's the world's greatest janitor. It'll take me a while.
Yeah, I'm with him on this. I ain't cleaning this shit up.
Still, though,
Yeah.
best day on the job. Yes. Yay! Aww.
Yay!
And what happened on Christmas Day? Say Lorenzo's heart
amazing.
grew 10 times that day.
Of
You need
course
to
we end
find-
with this song.
Yeah, the hearts.
You need to find better ways to spend your Christmas.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I haven't seen a sequel this better than the first movie ever since Terminator 2.
Yeah, I actually ended up liking this better than the first one, and
This
well,
is actually really amazing.
It's
It-
a lot of fun.
I
Not
do,
just that, this ending actually does the heartwarming job for Christmas.
yeah.
I do think.
Who the fuck?
I still think the first film was more better made.
It takes itself more seriously, the first movie, obviously. There are less comedy, more stakes at risk, but honestly, for the type of action, considering the direction we were gonna go with the franchise was obviously still the one of being a cheap action one, honestly, this is perfectly fine for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call, but I kind of like this a bit more than the first one. And that's not to say the first one was bad. Oh, no. In fact, if anything, I was afraid that, this is where the declines would start. But no, I mean, okay, aside from a few plot contrivances like some of the physics here and there, the plot was actually well detailed. Like, for the most part, they covered what would have been plot holes and whatnot. The plans actually made sense, and holy cow, the twists actually
Yeah,
feel
also the
earned.
twist.
It was really good.
And the fight scenes, well, yeah, I definitely feel like they definitely improved the fight scenes. Again, the fight scenes in the first one were good, but this one just had more of it. I think that's the best way to describe this movie.
It really shows this was done by the same people tied also to Commando, because I recognize some of the choreography and the type of shots for the fighting scenes.
It's weird though. Despite this definitely being more Commando-esque, it does have some points of realism. Oh, it's based off
on
of
the
a novel
by Walter
50.
Wager.
It does actually have some bouts of realism, like, you know, McLean doesn't always save the day. Like, he did kind of fail those people on that British plane. You know, he tried his hardest.
As the movie goes on, he really pushes himself maybe a bit too hard. But near the end of the movie, it becomes a bit too much. But honestly, it just ends right before it becomes too silly for me.
Yeah. And, you know, yeah, the swearing, of course, be there. That's the only thing that felt like it started to get a bit of him. But to be fair, it was rated R anyway,
Honestly,
so
to me,
might
it's
as
fine.
well.
Considering in this day and age where so less R-rated movies are taking so less risks, also with swearing words, watching this again feels really like a refresher.
You know, hey guys.
What?
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet that at some point there'll be an 18-rated movie that's literally called Fuck?
Well, we have a game called Get the F Out.
Plus, there's a film called Stirpert Werewolf, bitch.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, Sausage Party exists.
Yes. Anyway, final...
Pedro, you haven't given your thoughts, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, I still prefer the first one. I think the first one was overall a bit more engaging in terms of the story. But for what this wants to, I think for what this wants to do in terms of action, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, I kind of wish we could have gotten a bit of more of a balance between story and over-the-top action, because this is called Die Hard 2. And it's not really trying to follow in the spirit of the first movie. It's just trying to do its own thing. And well, if you want to follow your own to be your own thing, you should just be your own thing. But it's called Die Hard 2, so I still think.
I'm guessing this is because of the movie originally was supposed to be its own thing instead of just being a Die Hard sequel.
Well, regardless of that, the
Oh
point
yeah,
is,
no, I get what you mean.
it's an awesome, incredibly fun action movie on its own merits. But as a Die Hard sequel, it does miss on a few marks, because the first movie was much more engaging in terms of story. But for what it is, it's a lot of fun.
All right.
That's basically it.
Okay, sure, you want to go? Oh, never mind. I guess
no, I've said almost or anything. Really enjoyed this. I agree that it goes. The first movie, like I said, takes itself more seriously and it's more focused. This one instead is Industrial Light and Magic. That's why the explosions were actually very good.
And LucasArts, of course.
But yeah, I agree that the first movie again had more focus. This one instead tries to be the more popcorn action that Hollywood also especially loved around this time. Again, movies like Commando. But honestly, I am okay with that. Again, like I just said, if I had to say right now, I would prefer this one over the first one, but I don't want to diminish the importance of the first movie on its own. It's not a case where the first one movie had early installment weirdness and this perfected it. No, I just think I kind of preferred more the stupid action stuff. And again, don't get me wrong, there were things that were a bit annoying, like the animosity of Lorenzo until the very end. But honestly, I could get over those easily. So that's actually a nice Christmas movie. So thank you, Dwebs, for making me see it.
You're welcome.
Joy?
I mean, I don't really have a lot to say. I think everyone else covered their thoughts really well. Again, aside for some questionable physics decisions, this was still fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's very Christmassy.
Indeed.
So yeah. Dwibs?
I'll go next. Yeah. I still think the first film overall is a stronger B. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, even if there are some inconsistencies. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Jova?
It's my film pick, and I've got the shortest final four.
Actually, I think
but
Jove
still.
already did. Didn't
No, I haven't yet.
More like adding to what you said.
Yeah.
he?
Like I said, this and the first Die Hard film are neck and neck. I'm gonna give the edge slightly to this one, if only because I guess the heightened stakes do help me feel a lot more engaged. I will admit that the first Die Hard film did kind of focus better on the relationship between Holly and John, so that's one thing the first did better. But overall, I guess I like the second better because it feels just a bit more engaging to me. That's not to say the first one was any slouch, no. It was pretty close, but this one does just enough to make me feel like this does what the first Die Hard film did, just more, and well, with a sequel like this, I feel it fits well into the narrative. So yeah, well done to this movie. The effects definitely aged well enough. The music is nice enough and engaging when it's there. And I will say this one actually does a better job keeping in with the Christmas theme. Even has the Christmas moral of a guy learning not to be a jerk. Kudos to that. Oh man, but seriously though, the fact that Lorenzo ends up being the best friend to him out of all the officials, well, aside from that one other guy who always listened to him, what a twist. And
Anyway.
hey, I gotta say, this was a much better Christmas present than the first Christmas present we watched yesterday.
So yeah, in terms of Die Hard films, from this point on, we don't have to wait till Christmas to watch the next Die Hard movie.
Aww.
So we'll see you eventually for Die Hard with a Vengeance. But as for the next Christmas pick,
Right. Who's in charge of the next one?
Pedro.
Pedro.
It's funny because, yeah, Macaulay Culkin has appeared recently somewhere.
Yes,
Fitting,
yes.
He's been in some ads around here in the UK.
And in the NAV.
No, Macaulay Culkin is actually really funny and charming. Like, check out his Bunny Ears channel. His podcast is really cool.
Mhm.
Anyway, see you for Home Alone, everybody.
See you then.
See ya.
see it.